start the meeting with pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, guys, take a quick look over last month's meeting minutes, and we will get those approved. While we're doing that, I will say we did try to comply with the live streaming ordinance. YouTube was not our friend this evening. We have enough subscribers at this point, but apparently there's an extra 24-hour hold before you can live stream for the first time, which we were not aware of. I spoke with AIM and the Indiana Office of Technology to get us compliant and able to live stream, and now we're just kind of stuck until the YouTube gods approve our live stream capability. That being said, the meetings will be live streamed from here on out and broadcast to the website and archived there, as well as our YouTube channel, and be able to watch those in the meeting minutes pretty much directly after the meetings, and then from here on out the next month's meeting minutes will be approved and archived in the website as well. That being said, if y'all didn't gather, we have got our website launched, which is good news. Took me and Natalie several months of work to try to get it active, and we just kept getting the runaround, so I'm glad it is ready to go.
I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
Okay.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Did you guys see any corrections that needed made? Okay. Okay, we'll turn it over to public comment. Jace, do you have anything? Kevin, Mike? Okay. Public comments. Okay, so on to old business. First thing of old business was our town website. We do have it up and running. It is townofrosedale.in.gov. You can visit it any time, get important information and updates from there. News about the community, also links and everything for the community. We'll be posting, stuff for the firehouse and civic center, local businesses, any kind of events going on. We'll be able to have that there. Like you said, you'll also be able to get, meeting minutes and all that good stuff there as well. It is up and running now. We also have the YouTube channel up and running, and you'll be able to find maybe some fun videos and things about ordinances and stuff with
Say
you guys.
On the webpage, there'll be places that we can, as we get new ordinances or get old ones redone, and we can get them on there so people can.
That is also gonna be the plan, is to start updating some of the ordinances, and then as they're updated or reviewed, get them uploaded to the website as well, so people will be able to see that. I would like to also, at some point with you guys, or with even Natalie, go over do a quick 30-second video or something about ordinances, and we can, upload those to YouTube and then into the website as well, about just, common ones like pets or, things like that we have reoccurring issues with. Good, town hall, we're good there. Community crossings, we're just having them do our camp this year. Strawberry Festival done. We did get word back from Scott on, advertising on our website. We will be able to have businesses advertise on the website if we choose. There's just, the only caveat to that is there is no kind of way to, I don't wanna say discriminate, but we cannot pick and choose who we would like to, so if, the cafe wants to advertise and then, a funeral home in Oklahoma wants to advertise, we cannot
But they'll pay a
pick and
fee.
choose. Yes, correct, and we haven't discussed that, that's probably something that we will kind of look at doing here in the near future, cause I definitely think it would be, a good opportunity for some local businesses to be able to, throw their, links up there and stuff like that, so, that's something we can look at in the future. We are still, hiring a deputy street superintendent. We had 2 applications and, that was it, so, and then we started to set up interviews and they weren't available, so we are gonna go ahead and open it back up. Probably give it another month or so, at least a couple weeks maybe. By this time next month, we can get somebody hired in that's, a stable and, somebody to help you out, Jace. Cause I know we've got Jake now to give you a little bit more help, and that seems to be
Working out
taking,
really well.
well, I figured that would take at least some of the pressure off of you, so I figured it would give us a little bit more time to actually advertise, and, that's on the website. I'm gonna see if we can't, maybe get it on an Indeed or, Vigo County Chatter, Park County Chatter or something, just to get some more applicants out there, because we only had 2 that were local, and so, the Clintonian, we really didn't get any kind of hit off of that at all. So, and that's expensive, so I don't think newspaper's really the way to advertise that anymore. It's just, everything's kinda going the way of internet, so and then once we get a couple more applicants in, we'll go ahead and set up more interviews or some interviews and go forward with interviewing and hiring for the position. And hopefully, like I said, by this time next month, we have somebody ready to go in place for you.
Has Jake, checked on the school thing?
So he's told me a few times he wanted to check with Fox about that, to see if he would be able to switch his schedule up enough where he'd go into school at like 11 a.m. noonish. Cause he's got a lot of filler classes, he only needs 2 or 3 more credits for the year to get the diploma he's going for. So that would be, I can talk to him, tell him he needs to get the ball rolling, or he's gonna be out of question.
Okay. Okay. So, we did hear back about the Forever Fund, and we do have the approximately the $12,000 in there, and we have looked at some, park equipment. I think, Barb, you have some stuff down there? Oh, no, it's right there, she's handing it to you.
Nope.
And
Diane's here.
you guys have both seen the proposal for the new equipment though, correct? And the kids playground equipment?
That's what they got.
Well, I mean, Barb, you've seen that with,
I just saw it the other day, Carol
Okay.
and Natalie's the ones been looking at it.
okay,
Yeah. I don't know what the size is.
You should say somewhere on there,
18 by 15 by 5 by 30 by 27 by 5.
How tall is it?
It doesn't say, it says footprint is 18 by 15 and a half.
Fall
Use-
height's 45 inches, so if they fall off of it, it's 45 inches high. Is that what it's saying?
So it's probably 7.5 feet tall total.
You guys wanna take a look at it?
I seen a little bit of it the other day, that was sent an email to me. And it looks like we will be able to have the Forever Fund pay for either that or the concrete, I can't remember which one, but it looks like we should be able to get that and the concrete done for the basketball court with the money that we have. And
And
We get an estimate for sidewalk and,
I know
yes.
she walked it with Brad, I don't know if he's.
Yeah, she sent us over I think actually that was me and you, she sent that too. There was a estimate from Brad, it was just over the $9,000 mark, and he quoted it at $30 per square foot. And we were going to see if he would match the rate that he just did for us for the other project, which was $25 per square foot, to see if, because we've got other projects, down the line that we're more than likely gonna try to use Brad for, so we're hoping to get that at a little better rate. If not, we're still under the budget for it, so it should be good there.
have they decided where they wanna put this? Is it gonna be over by the other one, or?
No, I think that will be
Area.
up to you guys to determine. I think they were looking closer to the bigger playset. And then, but I'm not sure, and I know she did mention having that area fenced in, so that, the little kids,
Can it go on the other side of like between the alley and the basketball court? Is there enough room over there?
I'm not sure. I'm
Is it
Pretty skinny.
open to see whatever, but I don't know if before we move forward with this, if we have to have a Parks Board to decide on where, but I know you're head over the park, so I mean, it'd be kind of a matter over you and Natalie and, the community foundation of where and what we actually,
are we leaving the
Yeah.
old place at, or taking it?
I am not sure. Jason, your opinion, how is the place that's down by the fence? Is it,
I mean, it's been tore up since,
Okay.
it's not terrible,
okay,
but it definitely wasn't meant for a farm. It was meant for back.
yeah. I mean, is it something that's gonna hold up a little while longer, or is it
I
something?
mean, it would hold
that's-
up another year,
Okay, so long enough to get this up, and then it probably needs taken down.
of course. Well, Natalie had mentioned selling it.
Okay.
To try to
Recoup some of the money on it, okay. Okay. Here, I don't know if we need
So
to take a vote on that
basically
tonight or not.
decided on, sidewalk instead of a fence.
Well, no. The sidewalk is just fixing some of the sidewalk that's part of the basketball court.
No, she's talking about
And
the
then-
sidewalk wall that,
Yeah, repairing the existing sidewalk there, uncovering it and having that
Yeah.
repaired. But I think part of this quote, or she talked about at least having a fence around this kid
yeah,
area.
around this,
Yeah,
yeah.
which we can determine what we wanna do with that still. I mean, this is just the quote she was given, so we've got time to move forward on that later.
So what? So we wanna go forward with this place that, we wanna vote
Brad's quote for the basketball court and part of sidewalk would end up being $9,110 is his estimate that he sent over to us.
And how much was it just for the basketball?
Let's see if it has that
So it wasn't as
breakdown.
big as we thought it was gonna be.
So basketball court at the discounted rate for doing sidewalk and basketball court would be 2,300. It's 11 by 21 pad, and then 227 foot of sidewalk along there at $30 is, which is the discounted is 6,810.
200 feet of the sidewalk, that's what it is.
227. Yeah, I'm guessing that would be the whole
The whole
length of
sidewalk, I
the
thought that's what she said in the
side
first
over
place.
there.
It'd be just like shy of the fence to the alley. That's where I place it.
Okay.
So it's basically almost the whole sidewalk.
It'd be all of it.
Okay.
2,300 for the court?
20, yeah.
Yeah.
Which his minimum for is typically 25, so he's
Yeah, I think
going a
that's
little
why
off there.
part of that was,
It's only $7,000 for the sidewalk.
yeah, I mean, yeah, the sidewalks, what did we spend on the last sidewalk project?
A lot.
38, I think.
50.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was, sidewalk isn't cheap, it's,
We spent
Yeah.
around 35,000 for 1,200 feet.
well, and that was the second project that we did, that didn't include the first portion that we did, so. Okay. Do you guys wanna take a vote on the park equipment
Well, how
tonight?
much is it? There's two prices on there.
Okay, let's see, that's Forever Fun.
The very last page has
And
like.
we have that.
The last page had a different phone.
Yeah.
Oh, of sale price 82.73.
I think that's
I think that's still.
included, yeah, cause 83.7, or,
Yeah, and then in-ground mount kit is another $953.
yeah,
So
so the total on it would be 949, or 9,949, so.
that's pretty
Um,
reasonable. I know, they're very expensive.
If you guys wanna make a motion to move forward on that, we can, or we can table it.
If we don't go forward, it's gonna be another
Yeah, it'll
month.
be another year before we do it, so
Another
I
year.
make a motion, we order this place at.
Get it.
I'll second.
Okay.
Okay.
Brown, motion, and then over. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Then someone else puts it in, Jason doesn't have to put it in, right?
No, that is us
That would probably be
installing
a
it.
volunteer.
A
Mhm.
volunteer project.
Maybe if we're lucky, we can,
Jay and
Get,
Raj,
you know.
Brad.
We can,
Dawn,
we can,
Austin.
Anybody available?
me and Barb can cook up some food and,
They're all related to this board or.
all our friends and family can
There
have,
you go.
Cause I assume it all has to be assembled, right?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna come in boxes. That's probably too- probably should.
Well, I think that's all old business and part of the new business. I think we will still need to wait on the quote for Brad till he gets back with us on, you know,
Sidewalk.
well, the overall cost, whether or not we do you guys wanna move forward with sidewalk, or do you want to mix sidewalk?
Well, I think we need to wait and see what it's gonna charge. Is one that's in between 30 and 25, or?
Well, and yeah, that was, I haven't heard back from him on that portion, so. which I mean, it, you know, very well could have went up in cost, you know, over the last, 6 months, which is maybe why. So, we'll table that till next month then. Do we wanna go ahead and approve the pad for the basketball
Yes.
court?
Definitely, because we wanna get that paint this summer.
Okay, I'll
We're
make a
already
motion.
getting the paint donated, so
Um,
we don't have to pay for that.
So he's got on here 2,300, and that is with doing the sidewalk as well. Do we wanna make a motion to go up to 3,000? If, just that way, there's some backup money in case he does up that cost, since he's not, if we don't do the sidewalk at the same time.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
Okay.
And see that approved for the Golden Drain as well.
Yeah, that was already approved, so we approved that last month, so.
Oh, the drainage thing.
Yeah, I don't think that's your last one.
So is the new,
2 months ago.
I heard.
Okay, I was gonna say, I was thinking it might have been 2 months ago.
I heard the gas station's gonna be starting soon.
Yeah, they started surveying.
Yeah, it does look like it.
So it's
Which-
like
For the drain, for the grate,
No.
what?
For the new building, I would say.
Yeah.
Who, what new building?
Bucks is putting in a brand
Bucks
new
is gonna
building.
put in deluxe.
Probably more pumps, I would assume.
He,
Where?
Oh, right there.
so
They've already
when I talked.
They have the whole lot that the gas station was on now,
Yeah.
and then they bought the lot that's behind it that extends all the way to the alley that runs to the park. So they have that whole,
Okay, I didn't know they
Corner
didn't
lot.
own that other lot.
So when I spoke to him when they showed up, he said they wouldn't do nothing until they finished the new bugs across from the federal prison. It is now complete.
Yes, 'cause
I was gonna say, I got
That thing is
I got a
something
drink
else.
out of there last
It's
week.
very nice, you know,
Yeah.
they do take pride and they keep their gas stations clean,
Yeah.
but it will have more pumps. Cause I talked to him about how if they would cover up ditches in front of their property,
That's what I was
that it would be nice to just do one big project and bury all that. But they're talking about putting the building behind, still running it out of JT's. And once they come closer to completion, they'll tear all that out, and it'll probably be at a standstill, no gas for a little bit, but.
So how's it gonna run? I mean, is it gonna be facing Central
It's
Street?
however the state tells them they can do it.
Oh, I see.
That he has no decision in where the pumps go, how they place the building,
Oh.
it's all approved by state. It's
Cause I was
not-
hoping maybe
He had said,
that grate situation could be resolved, like you said, with that, their building at the.
yeah, that'd be nice, you know, we replaced the grate and, put drainage throughout and buried out all the way down to 26 Golden Ice Cream House.
That big ring we had, the water was booking down.
who was the second on the
I just made the motion.
basketball? Okay.
Okay.
And then all in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Okay, perfect.
Let's do it.
Okay.
If we don't, you won't get that.
And we'll wait on the others.
Was talking about the fence, I know that, Barb and I want to have a fence around the park. It doesn't necessarily need to be chain link. I mean, Deming has like a split rail that goes around part of theirs,
Split rail is very cheap and,
you know.
you know.
Why couldn't we do something like that, just as a small barrier? I know the kids would probably be over there,
Crawling all over, but
we could back it up, I don't know. What do you think?
It's a lot cheaper than, chain link.
Yeah,
Chain link,
it was
you're-
about
Did you
4,000.
get a quote for, you said 4,000?
4,000.
We can do it for a couple hundred.
Yeah.
It'll probably
Honestly,
be more expensive than that, but I mean,
if
Probably
if
not.
I did it, it
Yeah.
would be $300-400.
You don't want to install chain link?
I draw a line at chain link. I'm a pretty good carpenter though.
and now they said something about a little fence around the new
Yeah.
place that we're gonna get, so.
And that would, she talked about that as well, being split
That
around.
depends on
Just
where we
something
put
to
that.
make a divider.
Yeah, divider, keep them in there somewhere.
Okay, so
Alright,
if you guys want a fence, if you could get us like where you want it, where, you know, how much we need and an estimate on actually how much that would cost, that would be great.
and
We
then
can
split it around.
split rail, whatever fence you think you need.
It's 4,000 for the one we want.
Okay.
4 or 5, black chain link.
Yeah, it
So,
was lovely.
my question is, you want new fence, but there was fence when I grew up,
Yeah.
why'd that come out?
I don't know.
And your guess is as good as mine.
I'm old, but
We're
nobody.
not that old, we don't know.
I mean,
No, it was there when I was a kid.
Okay.
That may be why it's not there anymore, it was old.
yeah, I mean, realistically, there was fence all the way around the park when I was
Yeah.
young.
Okay.
Okay, then we'll talk about that, but definitely if we can get the ball court going.
Okay. I think that's all on old business, and I don't have any other new business unless you guys have some new business other than the park equipment and the basketball court. We can go ahead and move on to department reports, which
Okay.
go on to water. Did you guys have anything for Brad?
Yeah, I laid it out
Okay.
there.
Yeah, we'll have
And I can read it if you want me to.
okay.
So we haven't heard back from Scott.
Mark, you can read my scribbles.
I can
Yes.
you just read ahead, bud.
Well,
Still looking.
yeah, there's still discussion on that, on
Okay.
how to proceed, so we'll table that.
So no new business, it's just for.
Yeah, but just this and the
We do the park.
basketball goal. Water sewer,
89 penalties, sorry, yeah, 89 penalties and 7 tags, 0 shut-offs.
We ended up having one show.
one shut off. Leaks have been,
Just tell us
We
about the leaks.
repaired 2 leaks. 3 leaks, I'm sorry. Roofs, they're at 99 or 195 metal. There was a hole in the service line. Me and Gary discussed the hill and the issues that arise, you know, once or twice a year there. So we tried to find the end of the line or where it comes across the road, tees into the cut person meter pit. We vacked about 10-15 feet past, and we found it was cut and capped. So that tells us it's now fed from the top of the hill where it tees somewhere further up. His idea to get rid of the section of line that all the repairs have been made, it's somewhere between their meter and the top of the hill, there's a lot of breaks in that line. So he suggested we bore in a new service, cap the main for cut person and bore under the road. New service, go top of the hill, cut it, cap it up there, and
and just running in line the whole way.
so we wouldn't have to, that line would stay in the ground and be dead. It'd just be capped at the top of the hill where we haven't had issues. I don't know what
the cost was there on that.
I think to bore, you're looking between 1,500 and 3,000. And that's me involving his work to install the new service. I think the bore alone is around 1,200. I can't give you an exact number, he could put you in a closer ballpark.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
But for what we spend each year between my time on it, his time on it, the years prior,
Well,
there's been a lot of money
since I've
spent
been on
that
the
hill.
board, that's been a big problem.
Well, I know Tony did one before I came in the first time. I did 1 or 2 up there. We just fixed
I know
They had one
Tony,
last winter.
I bet since I've been every year.
There's at least 7 that I know of.
For 7 or 8 years.
So you're around $1,000 each week, if not more. So I think it would be in good interest to have Gary in or discuss it with him further
Yeah,
to say, you know, spend money once, you're done for a couple, it'll pay for itself in a few years.
Can I make a motion that we talk to Gary? and-
yeah, I mean, he would need to bring us a quote,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's
More
definitely something
detailed
that.
plan maybe.
And go
Yeah.
forward with that as long as the money is available in our fund and all that, so.
Yeah, I
Cause
think-
I wanna get that fixed. I'm tired of, nobody wants to work on it, it's a dangerous spot to work on, so
And people are not happy up there, I mean, they're just
they're not happy at all.
not happy. Stuff like this.
I did flush, it's been about a month ago now.
Yeah,
I don't know why the water's the way it is, the only thing Gary's told me is the leak could be a part of the issue, why the hill's having such issue, but he is drawing off of the other pump or the other well. There's 2 wells out there, 2 pumps, 2 motors, he's drawing off the bad well, he said every time he does it, it creates issues, there's a lot of yuck in that pit, or in that water. You can also explain that better than I can.
okay.
I just know it's a dirty well. He said if he, once he has a meeting or somebody out, he'll switch back to the other well, and he said water will clean up quite a bit.
Have you made a motion?
But yeah, I don't know. as
Well,
much
yeah,
about
there's
it.
wouldn't be
Yeah,
any
we're
motion,
just-
we'll
I don't even need a
We
motion.
just go
we'll
forward
get
with getting a quote from him.
With Gary and
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
sit
we-
down and
Yeah.
Sounds good.
go through all that. Are we still using the phosphorus?
Yes.
I will say our consumer confidence report is up on the website as well, and, you know, it passed inspection, so,
Well, and the
We-
big thing is we're not gonna police Facebook,
yeah,
just plain as, if you have an issue with your water,
let us know, not.
call the town, not Facebook.
Well, and not only that, but the Facebook page is probably gonna be transitioned into more informational only now that we actually have the website up
That
and
would be lovely.
we'll be able to, you know, put stuff on there because technically now that that is up and running, that's what we're supposed to use as a government entity, so. And we also
Well,
don't have to,
Di made a good comment
police
just
it.
a minute ago about Gary maybe coming to the next meeting. If we can get in touch
Yeah.
with him before the
Yeah.
next meeting, he can come and give us a generalization.
You're a water person, aren't you?
Yep.
So if you could come in,
So
talk
we
to
could-
you especially, and, well, all of us actually, yeah.
I know
So we can understand what he's talking about.
Sunday night, I got called out at like 9:30. I worked with Rob until about 2 AM at the lift station on Vine Street.
Okay.
The calister was out. It was a bad pump, bad motor. We had to switch motors on a different pump, rewire everything. That bill will be coming in here not a lot, but
Yeah.
the calister ended up
I'll put
pumping
it down over here.
the manhole out. They took 6,000 gallons. By the time we got everything switched out and rewired, everything seemed to be right, up and running again, like it should be.
I don't think there's any problem in it. It has to be done if it's emergency. You have to
Yeah,
do what you
it
gotta
was,
do.
it was definitely one of those situations,
And that's fine, then.
because nobody was having issues like backing up into their house, but the pit was full, and it wouldn't have been long.
Was that the, like, Roto-Rooter guy that was out here the other day?
No, this was McAllister sewage, I don't know.
Did he have a
what
big,
it was.
like, red sewage chunk?
No, that was the.
No, this was,
Sewer.
I think he quit pumping
Okay.
at
They go
1
through
AM.
the subdivision.
Did you see that they dumped their sewer stuff right over
Oh,
across the
no,
street?
sewage, that was me and Gary.
That
Oh.
was Gary and.
I was like, what in the world is that?
Just like,
But you
Okay, I was like,
are you gonna
it's
clean
got
that up,
side
please?
glass, yeah, I was waiting for it to dry, truly.
I was like,
One of the side glasses completely like blew out of the tank, and it just spewed everywhere.
Well, I got home that day and I was just like, I seen it there when I left and I was like,
Yeah. it looked
I
like a big-
really hope that's not just sewage just in a big puddle across the street from my house. I was like, that's disgusting. Okay, on the street. So Jace, do you have anything else on the street that you can think of?
Tractor's been picked up, everything is all there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sitting at the cemetery. At the moment, I would like, to be approved to fix it or get it
The
running
tractor?
again. I need to order a starter as of right now. Anything past that, I won't know until the starter's put on. I did look it over, the battery's still in it, everything seems to be there, no cut wires. I still have the key on my key ring, so we won't have
Is it
that
still in
issue.
decent shape or is it tore up?
If
Did you ever get the guy that did it?
The prosecutor.
We gotta find him.
Yeah,
Oh.
They won't file on anything until we talk to him. And finding him is like a needle in a haystack, cause every address that we have found goes back to his grandpa's house. Everything that we've gotten on it.
He's bed hopping, he's not staying on place.
And they
Maybe
won't
he's
file
got
it just with his.
a little home in underground too.
Okay, I just wondered, I hadn't heard lately. Got any kind of.
I think we
So-
looked at what a starter would cost.
I need to
on it.
call AHW, cause I don't think there's a visible serial number on that tractor at this point.
I can.
Um,
I think Nellie has a.
So Natalie might have serial number, if not AHW did service it beginning of the year or late last year.
Okay.
So they should have on file what
You
it
can
is.
get us a quote for that, we can get rolling on that.
I would
Hopefully
say a
get it back
starter.
up and running.
It is a John Deere starter, so I can't be
Yeah.
certain, but
What's the name be able to fix it?
it's not even on, it's not even there.
Oh,
There's
okay.
no
Oh,
starter
no
to keep
starter.
it.
Yeah.
So I would say it's gonna be anywhere from $200 to $400, that's a guess.
He can cross-reference those serial numbers on John Deere,
Yeah.
Napa.
And I figured if I get the serial
Well,
number
let's make a
started.
motion
now,
that
Yeah.
we have.
we're good.
Natalie's got the numbers.
$1,000.
It's in the plan.
It's in the, yeah, I put it in the.
Up to 400.
Yeah. Why don't you tell her to lay down? She's been, her little head's been flopping around. I'm afraid she's gonna break her
I've been
neck.
sitting there watching.
We'd be asleep too if they weren't up here.
Yeah.
Probably.
So I'm making a motion that we, give him $500
Yeah.
anyway.
About
for
$500 all that.
Starter,
I'll keep the rest of it.
you don't have to pay, you can use it all, and then, get started on it.
Okay, so Carol, anyone second? Okay, all in favor?
Fair.
Aye.
Okay.
Yeah, just black it out.
Well, we'll go on to the park.
I have a question
Okay.
for the streets.
Go for it.
How are we doing on moving the parking, no parking sign?
No parking.
Or no,
Yes.
no parking?
Oh, so I've called in locates twice now. They call me, I've had 4, maybe 5 phone calls from on the spot stating they will be out end of day or by end of day tomorrow, and we're over a month out since the first locate's been called. Second locate's been out for a week and a half, maybe.
Is that the only service? Only
Well, you
service?
have on the spot, USIC, one does AT&T, one does gas. I did not get, when I called these leaks in, it took me calling in emergency locates
Yeah.
to get them out here. So the issue with that is, that's not a loss of service. If I call in emergency locates for North Main, they can come back and buy us.
So is that leak and everything fixed down here with the?
Oh, Joe Wade, no, so he come in, he called, I said it wasn't us doing the work. I located what I was supposed to locate. His water service does a real funky back out under the sidewalk and then shoots in. So he called AT&T, also spoke to the owner of the company that did the drilling. They will be here tomorrow they will replace just the whole service from the pit to the house.
Oh,
Because we get to see water freeze the surface, but with them doing 150 foot bore, that water's not gonna reach surface.
okay. That's good to know. I talked to Andrea a little bit, she's thought things were gonna be resolved, but that's good.
Anything else on the street?
Are you, I know you're busy, but, we're gonna patch some more.
I do need to patch more.
I can drive the truck if you need it.
Well, I've just been using a tractor. I use the tractor to scoop it up,
Okay,
go fill holes
some of
that
that
way.
good work
It's a lot
out.
quicker that way.
Cause there's a few more holes in the subdivision. Just, you know, you got the big ones,
I did get all the big stuff done and then mowing really took off,
you know.
so I kinda put it on the back burner.
Alright. Sounds good.
Anything else on park, Miss Barbara?
I don't know, let's spend some money.
Let's spend some money,
I
okay.
think you did.
Good.
Okay, fire, you had that.
Fire had 7 runs total, there was 6 med runs and 1 power line down. And we've got our shrimp oil coming up on August 2nd,
Shrimp oil.
4 to 8.
Fields told me about that the other day, and she was gonna have you send me a flyer so I could put it on the website. So if you have like a PDF of your flyer for it, no, you don't have one?
No, it's made in Word.
Okay. Well, do you have just like the document?
Yeah, I've got it laid over the
Okay.
firehouse.
If you can just send me an email with that document, I can add it to the website. Perfect.
That, and we're gonna be doing some training tomorrow night out at the school more than likely. And when we're done, we're gonna be getting some water.
I know a guy, I know a spot.
Well, I know a guy that's got all the tools, he just wants to know where he wanted to go get it.
Draw.
Normally, we use that hydrant out front of the south pump house.
Yeah, that's the end of the line. I'd say anytime you guys pull water, just.
Well, that's what we always try to do,
Yeah,
so.
so that's fine.
I
Or if
just-
you can come out of the school and right there by Buster, that's a pretty good hydrant.
Yeah, we'll probably just go down there, that's where I think everybody do generally. We like to do that way, because usually if Natalie gets complaints, she can let them know, we've gotta do some training tomorrow night before our truck goes in for pump testing, so.
And you said that was August 1st,
Second,
2nd, from
4 to 8.
4 to 8.
Thanks, God.
Okay. And 25 per person?
Yep. All you can eat, I think we just ordered almost 500, almost 500 pounds of shrimp.
Sounds great.
Do you use Cajun seasoning on all that?
It's not hot like you think, not unless you want me to bring out some, St. Elmo's
No,
cocktails.
no, not any of that.
We get a couple bottles of that.
Say, no seasoning,
That was
salt
the hair
and
on your
pepper.
chest.
That's for sure. That, we save that for our special clientele.
Okay. I was about to say cremation.
One burial.
One burial.
Talking about the cemetery, Barb and I went out there and cleaned up A, B a little bit, got all the little
Pokey and
ones out
flowers.
there.
Yeah.
Did it look better today?
So, I started pulling flags.
Oh, you
Because
started.
your big 2 holidays are over.
Yeah, that's fine, we can do that.
I-
We're gonna do
Just sections that
CD
really
next.
need cleaned up. I have not, I didn't notice today, we mowed today, but
It looked better.
I don't pay as much attention.
When are you gonna weed eat? You need to be
Tomorrow.
aggressive about that.
Yeah, it's
looks
gonna be
pretty bad.
tomorrow, next 3 days.
Okay. But, the flags in the back, the veteran flags.
I have them, they need to put up,
I talked to the flag company, and they're gonna come out and replace that cord,
Okay.
probably both cords.
I have rope, I don't have like the attachment. that
Yeah,
they use.
I'm just gonna have them do it, and then
Some are faded.
Some are
I
bad.
figured, you know,
Yeah.
they need gone through, we'll get rid of what needs to be, and I have all day for just about all of them for next year. So we gotta get it started over on
Sounds
it.
good, sounds good, so. I may be out there tomorrow working on that CFD, if it's not raining or 90 degrees.
We'll be out there
Grandma don't work in the 90.
early morning.
I don't do mornings, Grandma, you know that.
Okay,
But I might get out there.
please.
We had one title check, one suspicious vehicle, one sickness, 2 power line down with power outage, 2 parking problems, 2 accidents, and 4 traffic stops, 2 warnings and 1 ticket. And the air conditioner replacement, thank
Oh,
you
yeah.
very much.
And then, Natalie said something about the rebate, we went to, did she do that, or,
That was the taxes.
oh, the taxes.
Yeah,
Oh,
cause
okay.
Where did you get your,
I had to, the only one I could find in town that was big enough, we had to go all the way down to South Menards.
okay,
And if you don't have the little barcode sticker, apparently there's a barcode sticker that goes along with the tax exempt account.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, they can't look it up at another store.
Well, the actual code that we have, and the first 3 numbers are the store number.
The
So
307.
we'd have
Right.
to get one just for them.
So, well, if you have the barcode, the way the lady explained it to us,
Yeah.
from the north store, and you go to the south store, they can scan that.
Oh,
But you have to physically have that barcode. They can't go in their system and look it up and say, oh, there you are,
oh,
and do that. So we had to pay the sales tax. That day it was, well,
so
the
if
day.
I went in there with our,
No, they're not gonna refund it, I doubt it.
how much?
Yeah, they said they would.
Yeah,
they
it's
said
a
they
take,
It's a take back and.
Recharge.
Recharge, and then they'll do it,
yeah, she has to take the debit card and the barcode.
and the receipt.
And the receipt.
okay, so they're just gonna do a refund exchange on it
Yes.
then, essentially.
Right.
What
But
about-
the day I called you, or the day before, it was 85 degrees in here, cause I went down to try to do some.
Oh, yeah, I know it was hot the day you called me out.
For our
I don't-
training, and so Friday, we went and got that. It took us, what, 20-25 minutes to swap it out, maybe? We sat there for about a half an hour, it went from 85 to 83, and then Saturday, I went in there Saturday morning, and it was 73 degrees.
What is,
Oh,
Oh,
it was kind of emergency.
The one we got, 12,000.
well, we talked about it a year ago, with,
529, I think.
And we're
A
fast.
little office
for
over
another
there.
couple hundred.
No, we
Yeah,
didn't.
well, we also
City's
approved
was,
doing it a year ago, we were gonna do a different style with the mural, so it wasn't sticking out.
That was
That
big enough
style
to do
doesn't
that
work,
room.
it's gotta be
Plus, you gotta
vintage,
have
so
somebody come in and
it just was a
cut
matter
through the
of
block, or through
reapproving
the
it.
block, and then wire it.
It'd be one of those expenses, over time it would pay for itself.
Yeah.
Have anything on properties, guys? You can think of?
I'll tell you, couple.
Just the
Stevens.
names.
No names.
I know Gary Antrim and the guy next door, man, they've been cleaning up their places.
What about the
What?
Yeah, we're,
one
They just
between,
did.
the one behind Gary, you know, where they were stealing from?
Yeah, they're, I don't know what to do with them people that are not around here anymore.
There's-
The boat
there's
house- the
no
house with the
contact
boat?
Yeah, the boathouse,
okay, we don't know what's,
they're gone. I
okay,
mean, I think they still own the property, but
they just up and left,
they just bugged out.
okay. Well, that might be something that we just have to
There's a handful of these properties that Scott's just gonna.
put the notice on the, you know, the 10-day notice, and we'll have to take it through Scott. Simple as
Well,
that.
what we'll have to do, if we have to start mowing, we're gonna have to put a lien. So when.
Right,
whenever
so
we
last
do-
fall, there was 5 or 6 that we went out and served those letters on.
And they've got 10 days to
And then they had
respond.
the 10 days, and then we never did anything after that, we just. Right.
You know,
If
and
we're gonna,
Stevens
if we're
said-
gonna take the time and get those letters written up, and go out and take the pictures, and serve the papers, Scott needs to give us a plan, so when we do our part, I know he doesn't have time to be going out cleaning these people's yards
No.
up, but
No.
if we're gonna follow through with it, we gotta go all the way.
So we need to,
I agree.
Yeah.
that's fine for me.
But I noticed there are a few others, one up on Miller Street and a couple others that are making some attempt to clean up, and then there's a few others that,
Mostly it's mowing and brush.
the one on Main Street, well, you're gonna be up tomorrow night, you can stop talking to them.
So the couple that you know of, over there on the, or west, and then the only other one that I can really think of is the one next to the daycare. Those two I would go through with 10-day, and we'll get Scott rolling on.
They have been keeping the one next to the daycare mowed this season.
Mowed, but the
Well,
brush is
yeah,
ridiculous.
you can't even see the trailer,
There's all
that's
kinds
not
of-
acceptable.
I do appreciate that he's mowing it, but.
Yeah. There's
I've
all
got his
kinds of
number over at my
animals
office,
in
I'm
there.
gonna give him another call,
Yeah, if you would.
say, look, if you don't do this within the next 10 to 15 days, I'm gonna give you a written notice, and then we're gonna do it, put a lien on your property.
Well, yeah, and he promised us before that he was getting that out of there.
Well, I don't know that he actually owns that 100% yet, that it's been transferred to his name yet.
Okay,
So what I might do is look it up and see who the owner is, if I can call the actual owner by the GIS, and they just call them.
okay. Sounds good.
And I see that the one on Southwest Street, have a couple vehicles there now again.
I noticed Saturday, when I was chasing somebody around, trying to find somebody, that I seen
The new one.
a new one sitting there, yeah.
Two trucks.
Yeah, trucks parked behind there, by that three subdivision, yeah, dirty cars now.
And what
Cars
about,
of competition are in the
what
ordinance.
about the Methodist Church
But
has
not
all
the ones
kinds
that got hit on it.
No, not the Lincoln guy, yes, no.
Okay. Well, do what you guys can, and,
We just, the cars.
let us know what we can do to help.
of
I don't know why people keep all
Move
these
stuff
cars.
along.
They could get some money from it.
Yeah, I don't understand why they let them pile up in their yards either, I mean, clearly don't have the means or the whatever to fix them up. If they don't run, call that up. They'll tell you what they're gonna give you for it, and they take $50 off of that for coming and getting it. And.
Have you noticed the one beside the Methodist Church there?
In the trailer,
Yeah, there's like two
Yeah.
or three sitting up. They've always been, they've been there for,
I'll probably have
2
Mike
years.
have to stop them. I'll have Mike
There's a
stop them.
couple on each street if you
Him
will.
and I don't see eye to eye.
couple needs one.
He does not like me.
Oh,
But I don't really care.
yeah, there is, they're just,
And then
just sitting back.
Natalie is not here to give her report tonight.
All of the cars you see at my house run. We just have a lot of
Any,
people.
any other public comment
We have kids
before
and
we
teenagers,
close?
you know, all kinds of-
Close it.
We had trucks.
Okay. Make a motion to pay the bills.
Or the Turd City today.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Okay, Diane Lazar. All in favor?
Aye.
And then motion to adjourn,
I got a name.
Oh, we're all ready for that.
Carol
Yeah.
Brown, and then who's seconding?
Where's that?
I did.
Who's Diane?
Or Barbie did, I don't know.
Somebody did.
Okay,
Right to Harvey.
meeting is adjourned.